Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've set myself a little bit of a shopping challenge today, and I urge all of you guys and girls at home to give it a try yourself because it's not as easy as it seems. Now the rules are really simple. So you've got to spend $20, this is all US dollars by the way, $20, $50, $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, all the way up to $1,000. And you can only pick one item, so you can't get multiple. So what are you going to spend your $20 on? What are you going to spend your $50 on, etc., all the way up to $1,000. Now, of course, it's hard to get an item exactly bang on $20 or $50 or $100. So, give or take 5 or 10% here. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Sounds like the rules are pretty simple. So 20 US dollars, what exactly would I spend 20 US dollars on? Now, it's really hard because typically if you've tuned into the channel before, I love investing mostly in, of course, booster boxes. I love collecting and displaying elite trainer boxes. And then maybe as an alternate investment, particularly during Scarlet and Violet era, Pokemon Center elite trainer boxes are also a really strong investment, particularly with those stamped promos inside them. But for the most part, it's booster boxes. So what do you spend $20 on? And for me, it's got to be a 3-pack blister. And I don't think you can look past the Zapdos example from Surging Sparks. So when it comes to a 3-pack blister, I think the investment rules are really simple. If it's from a good set and it's got a good promo inside it, generally it's going to perform pretty well. And probably the best recent example of that would be the Umbreon 3-pack blister promo from Evolving Skies. Great set with a great promo, and they're going for big dollars. Now, sometimes an awesome promo can even, I suppose, trump the pack selection inside it. Like try finding a Rebel Clash Rayquaza 3-pack blister for a decent price. That's an awesome looking promo inside there. Yes, I know it's a rarer set and, printed a lot smaller than others, but still, you get my point. So that's what I'd spend 20 US dollars on. Surging Sparks, great set, 3-pack blister, and the Zapdos promo is the pick of the two, of course, inside there. So that's where I'd park my 20 US dollars. 50 US dollars. It's actually really hard to find something just worth bang on 50 US dollars. And this is probably maybe even a touch more than 10% more, but I'd spend that tiny bit extra and pick up a 151 booster bundle. Look, I don't think 151's price increases are going anywhere. In 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, 151 sealed booster bundles are going to be worth a lot more than what they are today. The booster packs alone will be going for really good money. It's one of those sets that'll just go down in history as a nostalgic set. A throwback to what was. It's not like an Evolutions, which is a reprint of base set. It is its own standalone new 151 set, and I think that's going to ring true for years to come. So I think that's where I'd park my 50. 100. Now you'd think $100, you could pick up yourself a booster box, but really the only thing around that price is what the Scarlet and Violet base, and I think there's slightly better investments than a Scarlet and Violet base booster box. So I've gone with the Surging Sparks Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Again, Surging Sparks is a phenomenal set. You've got the chance of pulling some amazing SIRs out of there. But more than that, you've got Shinji Kanda's Magneton with the Pokemon Center stamp promo on it. Like it is a good-looking promo. In a PSA 10, it's going for good money. In a raw copy, it's going for good money. So, I think that's where I'd park 100. Moving along to 200, this is where I was sitting on the fence a little bit. So I think if you were to spend just under, and I know you can only pick one, I said you can only pick one, but if you were to spend just under 200, I think I'd go with a Brilliant Stars booster box. Charizard alternate art, reintroduction of Trainer Gallery. So the first Trainer Gallery since Cosmic Eclipse from Sun and Moon era, so the reintroduction for Sword and Shield era. And we had 4 stunning Trainer Gallery sets plus the holiday set Crown Zenith with the Galarian Gallery. So, stacked full of Umbreons in the Trainer Gallery, Charizard alt art plus Charizard Rainbow. I don't think it's going to go down as one of the top 3 booster boxes from Sword and Shield era, but I think it'll go down as a pretty strong booster box from Sword and Shield era. If I had to spend just over $200, I think I'd stretch up and go to a 151 Ultra Premium collection. You've got the beautiful Mew and Mewtwo promos, which come in the Japanese main set, didn't make their way over to English. And you've, of course, got the biggest pack selection of 151 booster packs inside the UPC. So that's where I'd park 200. 300, this is just a no-brainer for me. And you can even save yourself a little bit of money out of this. Fusion Strike booster box. Mark my words, you're hearing it here first, and maybe, I don't know, maybe some other channels have said it, but I think Fusion Strike down the track will be the second most expensive booster box from the whole Sword and Shield era. Going out on a little bit of a limb and saying that, I think Evolving Skies, obviously nothing will come close to that, but I think Fusion Strike might sneak along as the second most expensive booster box from the whole Sword and Shield era. I think perhaps it'll nudge out Lost Origin, which I think will bring up the third place, but I think over time, Fusion Strike, it's uncanny how well Ghost Psychic sets go. The chase for that Gengar will be incredible. The chase for that Espeon will be incredible. I think there's still some cards in there that are maybe a touch undervalued. Yeah, pull rates are dreadful, etc., etc. But I think a couple of those Mews are undervalued, and particularly that Celebi Alt Art's undervalued. I think just that Ghost Psychic feel. It's also one of the nicest looking booster boxes from the Sword and Shield era. Something that actually has some color on it. Anyway, $400. What would we do with that? This is a hard one because finding a booster box for $400 isn't that easy. So I think I'll go with an Elite Trainer box. Now, obviously back in Sun and Moon era, we didn't have the level of printing of Elite Trainer boxes that we have now. And we also didn't have Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. So if you want to get yourself a piece of history when it comes to Elite Trainer boxes from the Sun and Moon era around that $400 mark, I don't think you can go wrong with Cosmic Eclipse or Unbroken Bonds. Again, I know you've got to choose one. Oh, it's so hard. Cosmic Eclipse is by far and out the better set out of the two. Unbroken Bonds is still a solid set. I really like the Elite Trainer box art on the Cosmic Eclipse box, but then you've got Charizard on the artwork of the Unbroken Bonds Elite Trainer box. Where would you put your money out of those two? I think for $400 though, that's where I'd be parking, and it'd be going. I'd love both of them actually. Go alongside the Celestial Storm Elite Trainer box very, very nicely. $500. This was a hard one. Like finding something bang on or give or take 5 or 10% from 500 was nearly impossible. So you'll have to forgive me on this one, but I'm going to go 2 Lost Origin booster boxes. Current market price on TCG Player is $240. So times it by 2, of course, we're nudging very close to $500 US. That's where I'd put the $500 mark into 2 Lost Origin booster boxes. Now, Lost Origin, I think, and I've just called it that Fusion Strike will go down as the second most expensive set from the whole Sword and Shield era. I think Lost Origin will go down as the third most expensive set from the whole Sword and Shield era. I think that Giratina is a phenomenal chase card. Plus, you've got a Pikachu stack trainer gallery in there. It's a fair few ticks going for Lost Origin, isn't there? Finally, the big one, the $1,000. And I suppose this is my question to you guys down below. What would you spend your $1,000 investment? If someone had a gun to your head and said you had to spend $1,000 and you only pick up one item, what would it be? I'll tell you what, this train hasn't stopped yet, and that's Evolving Skies. I would grab an Evolving Skies booster box and have a tiny bit of change left over. Isn't it crazy how quickly Evolving Skies has gone up? A lot of channels and a lot of conversations that I had, we're all talking about Evolving Skies. No way it's going to make it to $1,000 US by Christmas time, but tell you what, it's getting ominously close, extremely, extremely close to nudging $1,000. And, that Evolving Skies booster box, it's just not stopping. And look, people might say, oh, there's so many existence. There's so many, hoarded away. Hey, just look at the pop report of Evolving Skies when it comes to PSA. There's so many graded cards. There's so much Evolving Skies that has been ripped. There's so much of it on streaming services. There's so much on YouTube channels. There's so many people at home that just get that urge with a box in the cupboard just to think, what if there's a Moonbryon inside there? Everyone eggs everyone on, don't they? Every time you see a post on Reddit or somewhere else or Facebook with Evolving Skies sealed product, everyone's going, bro, open it up. There's a Moonbryon inside there. When in reality, of course, you're probably going to be sadly disappointed. However, I think there's a bit of a fallacy about how much sealed Evolving Skies is left. It's getting rarer and rarer. And I think in another... How much older is it than Team Up? What is it? August 2021 Evolving Skies come out. Team Up, what's 2.5 years older? I'm not saying it's going to be a $2,500 booster box in 2.5 years, but it's certainly not going to be a $950 booster box in 2.5 years. This train, like I said, shows, it's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Shows no sign of slowing down, the Evolving Skies train. So that's where I would spend my $1,000. Again, let me know down below. What would you do? Would you follow in the same footsteps as me? This has been a little bit of a different and a fun video. I'm Michael. This is PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.